America and gentlemen, start your engine!
In Joliet, Illinois, there's a track 1.5 miles long, shaped in an oval, and that's the scene tonight for Chase Race number 2. Presented live on V-Speed, it's QSR Simulations. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, and here tonight we have the Chicagoland 86 flag-to-flag coverage live on V-Speed. I'm joined here tonight with Alex Gagnon. And Alex, we've kind of got you caught up, I think, here, but dominating season thus far for the number 19. That all came to an end when a last name Molnix came into the season, and he's won 2 in a row.
Yeah, it's been a very streaky season so far here for this QSR simulation season. Jeremy Burns, the big name through the early part of the season, rattling off 4 wins in the regular season. But the last 2 weeks, the last week of the regular season and last week, first race of the chase, Daniel Molnix, the man to watch, back-to-back victories. Could he go for the three-peat here tonight? I mean, with the way he's been running, it's hard to doubt that he could have the skill to do it. I mean, he's been running wicked fast the past couple weeks.
Well, let's take you trackside now and get that grid up on your screen. Putting it on the pole here tonight, Joe Weaver with a 29.635. That three-peat, really good chance here. He's going to start on the outside. That's Daniel Molnix in the number 6. Row number 2 belongs to Jeremy Burns with Tyler Harrison in 4th. Row number 3 belongs to Ronnie Joyner with Zach Rivali in 6th. 7th is Quentin Stewart. Dirk Likes in 8th. And rounding out that top 10, we have Carter Lenz and Austin Dowdy.
And the rest of our grid tonight, Daryl Flanagan and Christian Ruckriegel in row 6. Row 7, it is gonna be Chris Nail and Ethan Wisnowski in row 7. Row 8 is Mike Petrin and Bill Carnahan. Row 9 tonight, Patrick Hernandez and Zach Duscher. And the rest of our field tonight, Frank Walsh in 54, Andrew Allen, and Joshua Thurman.
Well, underway here for the Chicagoland 86. Into turn 1. Number 1. It's going to be the 21 of Joe Weaver. But he's had competition. Daniel Molnix already on the bottom trying to get that position away.
Yeah, good early run here from the 21, able to establish himself as the sole control of the lead here early. And as this race is going to go on, it's going to be a lot easier to try and hold position looking out that rear view mirror as it would be looking out the windshield trying to track him down. We've got a good battle for second here. We've got Molnix and Reveille side by side. As this battle for second will progress, it's also going to let Jeremy Burns into the picture back there in the 19. Might look to make a 3 wide here going into the next corner, but right now he's going to slide back in behind the 6, and now on board with the 19 we go.
So riding on board, we've rode on board with him quite a few times this season, but there he is. Looks like he still hasn't changed that blanket, and that's a shame, but outside of that, looking really good here on the outside for third spot.
Yeah, looking to see if you can find some room running that high side. Going to try and get that momentum off the outside of the corner, dropping into the backstretch. You know, a little bit of a longer way around, but you're able to keep the throttle down just a little bit longer than those running on the inside. That might come to fruition here for Burns. He had a nose ahead going into that corner, but he has not cleared Molnix yet. These two cars battling for third right now have 6 of the 8 victories in this league so far this season. So when it comes to QSR simulations, it's been a lot of those two cars right there, the 19 and 6. Can one of them get it done again here tonight, or will Weaver there in the 21, who has led every lap of this race in the early going, could he pick up his first victory of the season here tonight in a very timely battle?
He's been close a couple times this season. Weaver had a really good run, and I want to say it was at Charlotte where he had his good standing. Highline seems like it's prevailing. Everybody's starting to move up the racetrack here. Still seeing a little bit of multi-groove. You got Molnix falling back to the 7th position, maybe saving those tires. Almost some 3 wide here off of 2, and the 19 finds a hole between the 51. That's Dirt Likes. Hot on the back bumper now as we ride with the 51. They're still racing hard from 5th on back.
I don't think the 19 found a hole. I think he made a hole. There was exactly 1 car length of space between the 51 and the 6 there, and he slotted into it perfectly. If he was an inch forward or backwards, though, I think he was going to make contact with someone. He really threaded the needle, but so far, no harm, no foul there as he slipped in behind the 51 as they're currently running in the 5th and 6th position, respectively, Likes and Burns. Molnix back here in 7th, battling with the 83 of Stewart.
On board with Kyle Stewart, a little loose condition there. Lost the nose for a second. Got it caught, though. Looks like the 6 car is still devoted to that bottom line. And do you think that could be hurting the tires here, Alex, as this race progresses?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not going to help as far as long-term longevity, not only from running the inside, but he's been battling someone basically every lap since he dropped the green flag. As you see, he's still side-by-side with Stewart here, so he hasn't really had a lap yet this race where he can get a nice full exit off the corner, which is also not going to be great for the long-term health of those tires. So the more he continues to be stuck battling some of these cars inside the top 10, the more it's going to put him into a hole as this race goes on. Got to imagine that he'll be one of the first cars to jump down pit lane if there is a caution, or if it's the green flag pit cycle, he could be one of the first cars to pull the trigger and make that happen. Obviously, still a long way to go before that's a concern. But for right now in the 6, that's definitely something I'm sure that's running through the back of his mind, is looking up front. Joe Weaver's got some company there, and Ronnie Joyner, and the 3 of Carter Lins.
Looking back at Lins off the back of the 20, and then looking up towards the front. He was to the inside. Joyner had the run, just wasn't able to get that move complete. And another unique feature of this racetrack, you'll notice down the back straightaway, you're turning left down that backstretch as well. And so it takes a very disciplined approach to continuously, here we go for the lead again, but it takes a very disciplined driver to not get tunnel vision and hit that outside wall down the backstretch.
Yeah, it really does. And that is, I'm sure they're going to be something that these drivers are keeping in mind here, because it's such a small thing, but they could jump out and bite you, as we see Ronnie Joyner take the lead here on lap 11. The 20 now to the front of this race, and now Weaver's going to have to try and battle back on that outside. He's got all the cars in the world behind him in that same line, but looks like the 20 of Ronnie Joyner able to find some room there on the low side to make that pass work, and he's able to get that low line to work a little bit more than some of his competitors through the corner.
And be sure, if you're out there in the chat right now, shout out, consider subscribing to the channel and shout out your favorite driver. We can try to get him some FaceTime, some camera time. Little change for position with the number 2. He's hot on the tail of the top 10. Zach Deutscher has worked up 7 positions rather from where he began. Now in the top 10 here as he goes outside of Quentin Stewart.
Looking to that outside, you got Deutscher on the outside, Stewart on the inside. Stewart, one of those drivers who's fallen back a little bit here in the early going. We saw him battling earlier with Molnix inside the top 10. Now Stewart finds himself currently running 11th, so the 83 going the wrong way on the timing table here. But right now, Deutscher now onto the back bumper of Ruckriegel there for 9th. And he's got a couple more cars directly ahead of him as well. Could be several positions to gain here for the 2 if he's able to track down the 33. But easier said than done right now, as it looks like our top 10, they've all found the line that they feel most comfortable running there through the straightaway. It looked like a 10-car line going across the front stretch there. And then when they hit the corner, they start to fan out a little bit more as Linz now maybe looking to the inside of Weaver.
Linz has peaked about 3 times here in the last couple laps, just not able to complete the pass. And like we said, running that bottom, choose up the right front. You have to lift a little earlier and you can't get back on the throttle as soon as the guy on the outside does. So it's going to be tougher and tougher to pass as this race goes. And again, Molnix falls back to 6th position. He's down 4. You have a few guys that are up 6-7 spots up here in this top 3. Joyner up 4 positions, starting to pull away about 0.4 of a second now. And changing it up, running the low line.
Yeah, I tell you what, ever since he's gotten that fresh air on the nose of that car, he's really been able to get some separation from the rest of the field here that Weaver was not able to get in those opening 10-12 laps. But right now, Joyner starting to really put some distance on the rest of the top 5 here. And as this run continues here, no reason to think it won't continue unless something changes there with the 21 or the 3, because right now the gap's big enough where no one's even really a threat to the 20, and he can really settle into hitting his marks, really back up the corner entrance a little bit if he wants to try and get that better run off. All of a sudden, all the options are on the table to how to best run this track when he's no longer under pressure from any of the cars behind him.
And we want to remember Joyner finished 2nd position in both those races that Molnix dominated. So he's due for one. Might be the night tonight. Jeremy Burns, a little brush with the wall. That's your points leader in the number 19. And while we have a moment here, let's bring those points up on your screen. The updated points of 30 points back for Tyler Harrison. He's up to 2nd with Carter Linz in 3rd. It's a pretty decent spread, though, for after the reset, and with only 2 races after this one, still some opportunity. Jeremy's just going to have a bad day, though, I think, if Tyler...
Oh, the caution has come out.
Yellow flag.
First caution of the night here has come out from Chicagoland as the 5 sideways on the exit of turn 4. Looks like another car might be the Planters team number 60, also all banged up there on the outside wall.
Petrin.
Yeah, that is Mike Petrin, who that car looks like it's no longer handling. Oh, more contact. The wreck is still going on back there. These guys can't stay off of each other at the moment. Looks like a couple more cars.
I don't think Wisnowski is in control of that car right now.
Yeah, you and I would both agree on that one. That car looks like it's doing its best just to limp around the apron here, but it's not handling right here. So on this replay, you can see the 5 running up on that high side. He's got the 60 and the 88 behind him. I think it's going into this next corner where he has a problem.
Might have backed it up a little bit too far. It's actually in 1 and 2 where this happens. So you see the cars in front, they're way ahead. So how did the 45 get involved with this? I want to say it starts up here. There's the 6 of Molnix, yep.
Good save from Molnix, but that caused the chain reaction to collect the 2 and the 45 behind him. Oh, heavy contact there. 5 didn't have a chance, but yeah, that might be terminal. Oh, because he had the guy on his inside. Had nowhere to go except to take the nose off the 45, but somehow I actually think he got the worst end of it.
Unfortunately, bringing out our first caution of the night. So Carnahan's going to stay out. Joe Weaver and looks like Ronnie Joyner have a little battle out of pit road. We'll go back on the replay and take a look at that as well. This is going to be close right here. We'll slow it down for you. First one to that green cone. That's the important one. Looks like the 21 of Weaver is going to get it.
Yeah, it looked like it. It also looked like it was a tight battle there for third between Burns and Linz. So first and second, good battle off pit road. Third and fourth, good battle off of pit road. Some critical track position here early in this race because we've only seen the one pass for the lead. There's been a little bit of passing throughout the field, but you know, it's not necessarily like a super speedway track where you're going to get passes a dime a dozen. You know, you're going to have to really work for each one of them. So each position you can gain without having to worry about it on track, that's a good day right there.
Well, we've completed 20 laps here tonight at Chicagoland, the QSR Chase, race number 2. And we're getting set to double back up with Joe Weaver on the point after winning the battle out of pit road. He's got tight competition, though. The 3 of Linz, the 20 of Joyner have been very fast, and they kind of have the preferred line here on this restart.
Yeah, the big thing that's going to work in favor of our current leader and pole sitter here, he'll have the opportunity to try and time the start for when he wants to go. So he'll have to try and get such a good jump on Joyner where he might be able to slide up in front of the 20 going into turn 1. But if the 20 can stay side by side with him going into the corner, there is a really good chance Joyner could take the lead coming off of turn 2.
We're about to find out. Joe Weaver going to hit the loud pedal. Pace car is going to pull off this time by. We've got Weaver, Joyner, Burns, Linz, Molnix, the top 5. Likes, Deutscher, Ravalli, Stewart, and Nail. Back to 10th. So back racing for the second time this evening. 21 laps in, coming by for lap 22. Green flag is out, and we're back underway at Chicago.
The 20 got a great jump on that restart.
Yes, he did, and takes it all the way to the outside. I said he had the preferred line. He sent it into 1, and he's gone.
Weaver was not able to get the jump that he was hoping for on the restart. The 20 stayed with him every step of the way. Was just able to coast around that outside past the 21. And like nothing's changed from when we were last under green, the 20 of Ronnie Joyner back out front here at Chicagoland. Here on lap 23.
He's led 9 of them so far. He came by. He's going to probably lead a 10th one side by side behind him with Joe Weaver and Carter Linz. Linz, remember, didn't really get to the inside of the 21 until late in that run. So this time around, he has a good chance to keep it down on the bottom and maybe get this position. Oh, boy.
Yeah, while this battle's going on, though, you know Carter Linz wants to jump into the picture and try and break up these 2 cars who have led most of the laps here tonight. You know, he's still looking for his first victory of the season despite the 6 top 5s. He would love to finally put one in victory lane here as he's now side by side with our leader going down the backstretch. Can Linz hold on there on the inside to try and take this lead away? He's got Joyner on the outside. He's got Weaver with him. And creeping into the picture here is the 6 of Molnix.
So slowly but surely, the 6 car has recovered. Maybe a little too much conservation mode that last time by. So the first stint for 20 laps, he fell all the way back to about the 7th position. Found himself having contact, which was kind of the indirect start of the first caution we had here tonight.
Yeah, that indirect contact shuffled him back just a little bit here and what led to the caution. Looking up front, though, huge opportunity for Linz. He might have the nose ahead here. I mean, they are just side-by-side lockstep the entire front stretch here going into 3. Now this time Linz, instead of going all the way down, he'll take the middle, forcing Joyner a little bit higher. This could be the window the 3 needs, but not able to get the run off the corner he needs, not able to fully extend up to that outside wall. And it's going to let this battle continue side by side. And the more the leaders keep battling like this, the more cars are going to get kind of grouped into the picture here. So not only do you have Weaver and Molnix, yeah, clipping the wall there for the 21. You know, that's the last thing you want to be doing when you've got a guy like Molnix or Burns to your inside. That's going to be a tough ask there to try and defend both of those positions. Now Molnix goes by and Burns looking to the inside as well.
Now on the outside, Zach Deutscher trying to take away a position from your points leader. The 2 car up 13 spots from where he began the race. So the top 5 shuffling around. We still got some brushes with the wall in front of these boys. I believe that was at 21 again.
Right now, yeah, I'm about to say the 21 especially looks like they're having a really tough time. They want to get all the way out to that wall to maximize their exit of the corner, but overdoing it a little bit those past couple corners, clipping the wall just a little bit. And, you know, they've been relatively light taps, but, you know, the more you keep doing that, the more you're going to start wearing away at that right rear. And before you know it, you might still start having some actual frame damage there. You might start bending in the fenders a little bit, and it could lead to some detrimental situations later on in the run if this stays green.
So looking through the pack is starting to single file out. Little battle here between Rodrigo and Rivali. I think they're settling that out as well. Jeremy Burns is to the inside. He actually had Chris Nail there for a moment. What is going on with the 19? He hasn't been up to speed here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's had top 10 speed, but with the way his season started, you'd expect him to have top 5, top 3 kind of speed, and just hasn't quite had that just yet. You know, staring at the back bumper right now, the 51 of likes. Long way to go here. He started up in 3rd, but he's down the 7th now, and he's got Nail on his back bumper right now, so in jeopardy of potentially falling down to 8th. You know, it's not been the best night so far to start for Jeremy Burns, the current points leader, but, you know, still have over about 55 laps left in this race. Plenty of time to get this thing turned around, as I'd imagine these cars are going to want to come down pit road again sooner rather than later, as our leaders are battling once again going into 3.
I saw a car get really loose out of 2 there for a moment. That was the 51 of Dirt Likes, and now a battle for the lead takes the camera off. The 3 car going at it again. He's got to do something because they're about to go 3 wide for first place.
Molnix looked to the inside, sliding it back up behind Joyner in the 20. Going to see if that outside line can carry him around the 3. Maybe thinking about going to the outside of the 20. Joyner's going to close that off in a hurry. And now side by side, Molnix and Linz. Molnix, though, with a good run down the backstretch. He's got a nose ahead of the 3. Can he clear him and then set his target solely on the back bumper of the 20? Yes, he will. Molnix up the 2nd, now diving to the inside, looking to take away the lead from Ronnie Joyner.
The stagger offset of these cars looks wicked coming across that tri-oval. It almost looks like they're loose. Uncontrollably loose, but really it's just the offset and a little touch with the wall there for the 20. Quick change for the lead, and the 6 has got it. Crossover, though.
Yeah, Joyner doing a little over-under action, trying to slide back in front of the 6. He's got the nose ahead, but he didn't get enough to clear him, so they're going to be side-by-side coming off of turn 4, going on toward lap 34 here. Joyner and Molnix, 1 and 2 from each of the past 2 races, 1 and 2 once again here tonight at Chicagoland.
So the constant battle between these 2 drivers, how long before the tires wear out and the 3 car gets back into the situation. Pass now for the 51. The 19 goes to the inside. And a brush now from Likes. He's starting to struggle on handling. I saw him really loose there a moment ago. He's flirting with the wall.
Yeah, that 51 getting really loose coming out of turn 4 there. The back end you could see shimmy a little bit. That's going to let Burns move back up to 6th position here. As Molnix has fully cleared, Joyner is starting to pull away a little bit. Looks like Carter Lynn's trying to get around Joyner as well. Looks like there might be a little bit of a problem for the 20 here. The moment he lost the lead, that car really started falling backwards. I wonder if it was really liking that clean air up front. Now that it's stuck behind traffic again, it's got some work to do to find his way back forward.
Back on board with Zach Deutscher, and he's up 14 positions now into the top 5. Lynn's got to the outside of the 20 car, and I think that was the deciding factor. If he could do the same thing to the 6 car, he might have a chance to take this lead.
He certainly might, but he's got to get there first. Gap 0.3 of a second right now. Not necessarily close enough to really make a lunge in. You just kind of have to keep following the 6 around, see if you can start chopping off you know, a few hundredths there or a tenth there, trying to reel them in. But with fresh track in front of them, it's going to be really tough to catch Daniel Molnix right now.
Almost the moment there, the 20 had the nose and lifted off the throttle. Multi-groove racing, Alex, we don't see it very often, but ever since the dynamic track came back, it seems to have improved. A little loose condition there for the 3.
Yeah, I don't know if the 3 puckered up a little bit there, getting really loose off of turn 4. I know if it was me, I know I would have, that's for sure. That would have been a catastrophic spin there from second, but able to hold on to it, and the battle for second continues. Linz on the outside, Joyner on the inside. Here comes Deutscher as well from fourth, trying to see who's going to win out in this battle, trying to figure out who he can follow through to take away the 3rd position. Looks like right now he thinks Joyner might have the better run, splitting the difference right now, trying to see who's going to get that advantage, although neither seems to be able to do it just yet. And I'm looking, looks like our pole sitter, Joe Weaver, also fallen back a little bit. He's gotten passed by Jeremy Burns. Now he's got nailed to his inside as well.
And the 2 car splitting that difference, just trying to keep clean air on the nose. I think that's kind of the case. And he does come to the bottom in 3 and 4. You saw how loose the 3 car got on the exit a couple times ago. Now 3 wide. He found the opportunity. He's going to take it all the way to the bottom in 1.
Will they be able to sort this out? 3 wide. Looks like the 2 is going to have to back off just a hair. Didn't have a great entry into that corner. Oh, and the caution's out. The 51 in the wall. The 51 got a lot of that outside wall there going through 1 and 2. Not sure if that's what they called the caution on. No, they may have called it on the 8. That car looks a bit totaled.
Andrew Allen, heavy damage on the 8 car, and that brings out caution number 2 at about the halfway point. Go back on the instant replay and find out what happened to him. He's going to lose this all by himself. Does he do it on the tri-oval? Oh, no, this 29
someone
car
was sideways in the middle of the track.
It was Joshua Thornton that was just sitting and parked in the middle of the front stretch here. Let's find out what happened to him.
We saw he had come off of pit road, I guess, to repair something. That car was already damaged. Spins out in the tri-oval, locks it down, and just nowhere to go for Allen. That's brutal. I mean, he had nowhere to go. I mean, when the 29 locked that car down, I mean, Thornton did the best he could to keep it off the track, but it just settled right in the middle of it. Heavy contact there for Andrew Allen.
That brings out our second caution of the night. Down pit road here for the 6 and Molnix leading him in. Joe Weaver is going to hit that first stall. The 20, the 19, all getting service. 2 tire stop maybe for the 5, and the 2 car of Deutscher also out of his box. Going to be a tight battle off of pit road here for a couple of them. The 6 car wins it.
Yeah, Molnix and Joyner were the easy 2 to see 1-2 off of pit road. Then it got a little trickier with the rest of everyone else coming off at the same time. Looks like the 5, though, may have moved up into 3rd. A little bit of pit strategy at play for him, jumping ahead of Carter Linz.
And actually being scored 23 laps down for the 5 car, unfortunately, so...
Well, I undo everything I just said in that sentence then.
Yeah, sorry about that. I guess we didn't realize the 5, remember, got that heavy damage on that first caution.
Yeah.
So he's just trying to get back into a situation he had to tow. Clean car, though. He's got that going for him for the most part. Car looks pretty clean.
Oh, it looks like the 6 is coming back down pit road. I wonder if there was an issue or a penalty being assessed.
Not entirely sure. We can go back on a replay and see if maybe there was speeding here.
Because it was clear the 6 was the first car on, first car off. And I feel like it'd be hard to get up to full speed to speed off of pit road with how short of an exit he had, but maybe he did. unless it was on entry.
Not sure. Not sure.
Yeah. Either way, the current leader of the race has to come down pit road a second time. That'll drop him toward the end of the field. So Ronnie Joyner is going to re-inherit the lead here after Molnick's more or less had to give it back. He wasn't first, now being scored back in 13th.
So sitting here at the halfway point exactly as we get ready to restart this race, the 20 of Joyner, Carter Lenz, Jeremy Burns, Joe Weaver, and Zach Deutscher are the top 5. Lights will go out on the pace car this time around. And we like to do this here on V-Speed, so for this next restart, just get your thumb ready, whether it's on a remote or on that smart device. We know you have a volume knob somewhere. So for this next one, we're going to bring the noise here on V-Speed as we line them up side by side on lap 45.
And there's not too many cars that are going to be a prettier sound to listen to than these Gen 4s, that's for sure.
And 900 plus horsepower sounds amazing in these V8s. And the spectacle of racing, I'd say probably 50% of it is just how the cars sound. You know how successful the all-electric Formula 1 cars were? Not very.
Yeah, Formula E's hanging in there, but yeah, there's a reason that, you know, NASCAR, IndyCar, F1 have a far larger part of it, you know, for the history, and part of it just for that feeling you get when they get up to speed and you can feel that rumbling in your chest.
Shout out to the commentator from Bonnie Flynn. How you doing? Good to see you in the chat. Debbie Smith. Let's go Burns. We got the Burns fans out here coming into the chat. But here we go, back underway. Let's find that volume knob and bring the noise live on V-Speed. So if you're not deaf now, you can still see what's going on. At any rate, the 19 car lost 4 positions on that restart. Something is going on with Burns here tonight.
Yeah, our current points leader not having the night he would like to have here at Chicagoland. At this point, I think it's less about focusing on the win for Burns and might be trying to get the amount of positions that he can to somewhat hit the wall a little farther on back. Looks to be the 88 of Dowdy, maybe.
Yeah, the 88. Austin Dowdy having a tough time there with that curved backstretch. We talked about it earlier in this race, how much discipline it takes to force that car to the left all the way down the back straightaway. Now side by side for third spot. Deutscher on the inside of Weaver. The 21 holding it up there. He's been tough to pass on that outside. But here we go with the dynamic track data again. We talk about it every week. The more those guys run up there, the harder it's going to be. The 3 car takes over point, though. He's got a lead of about 4/10.
Yeah, Carter Lenz in control right now, leading his first couple laps of this race. Good time for it as well. He had been in the mix in the top 3, top 2 cars most of the night here, but now with the opportunity to get all that clean air on the front nose of that Chevy Monte Carlo and letting it really rumble here into the corner. But he's got a little bit of a battle brewing just behind him here. This battle for third still ongoing, but even though they've been side by side, they've closed into the back bumper of Joyner as well. making it effectively, or at least for that moment in time, a 3-car battle for second, although Joyner really got a good launch off the front stretch there, so once again, it'll return to Weaver and Dwyer there battling for third.
So that battle subsides. Going back here, it's right on board with the number 88 car. He's got the 91 of Hernandez all over his back bumper. Hernandez, another driver that has these kind of like spurts of just speed, and we've seen him up front at quite a few different tracks, but here tonight a little bit off. He's sitting in 13th spot. Not a terrible race for him, but I tell you, for me personally, we ride on board with him, I've never been able to do VR, and I don't know what your setup's like, Alex, but triple screens, that's, to me, that's where it's at.
Triple screen would be the dream for me if I could get there right now. I've just got the one curved monitor that's a little bit wider than the average screen, and I say, well, this is about as much as I'm going to be able to fit on my desk in this apartment. So, but doing the VR stuff, while it is a lot of fun, I couldn't imagine doing a league race there as the 91 big slide coming off of turn 2. Yeah, I couldn't imagine doing an actual like league race in VR, though. I would probably get motion sick by lap 20.
No doubt. 52 laps into the books here. 53 now as the ticker catches up to what I'm saying. And the two of Deutscher still working on the back of Weaver. Got him a little loose there in the entrance of 2. He's going to have a good run down the backstretch and peek to the inside.
We got a really good run coming off of 2. Now trying to lunge it to the inside of our pole sitter. Will he be able to slide up and make the pass? Yes, he will. Deutscher up to 3rd now. We were back to 4th, trying to track him back down. But right now, the charge to the front for the number 2 machine continuing. As someone going all the way through the grass there. That looks to be the 00 of Reveille doing a little bit of lawn care here at Chicagoland Speedway. He ran, I think, the length of the infield through the grass after this tussle here with 51.
A little bit of help there to get down there and mow that grass. 51 car touched him on the right rear, and that's never works out with the noses on these Gen 4 cars.
No, it does not, but it was a great save by Reveille, and he'll keep that car in one piece and relatively up to speed. He's already gotten back around the 54 of Walsh, so currently scored in 14th. Obviously, he dropped several positions from going through the infield there, but could have been a lot worse for the 00 machine.
So now watching our scoring on the left-hand side, you'll notice that that lead that was over 3/10, it's dwindled down to half of that. About 1/10 as they come off of turn 4. 3-car of Linz, he's under fire for the lead.
Ronnie Joyner is back on the scene. We know he has what it takes to put that car up front. He's already led some laps here tonight. Linz trying to defend on that high side. Here comes the 20 down low. He has a nose to the corner there, but will he be able to maintain that run? Not entirely, but he'll dive it back into 3. Side by side they go through the corner once again. Ronnie Joyner on the bottom, Carter Linz up high.
Linz is able to lead one more, but I think his time is borrowed. He's been really fast on the short run, and impressive there that he got the lead away from the 20. Man, he's in the outside wall, and that's it.
That's no faster way to end the battle for the lead than one of your contenders striking the wall off of turn 2. He's lucky he's not going to lose any more positions for it there, as the 2 will close into his back bumper, but he'll need at least another lap to try and take away second place.
This top 3 is checked out a little bit. Joe Weaver is about half a second away from them, and you see Chris Nail. How about that? Started back in 13th. Haven't mentioned him too much today, but look at him up in the top 5.
Yeah, there's a couple of cars who started outside that group who are starting to make their way inside the top 5-6 cars here. Chris Nail, one of them. Christian Ruckriegel there in the 33 back in 6th. Another one of those cars we've seen kind of hovering around the edge of the top 10 today, but good run going now up into the 6th position, as he's got a mirror full of Quentin Stewart right now in this battle for 6th. But yeah, Ruckriegel started 12th, so up 6 positions right now in that number 33 machine.
And he's running out of racetrack there as they exit turn 2. I'm surprised that Quentin didn't get a better run off of that corner. 33 must not have lifted. He just sent it through there. Impressive.
Yeah.
He's going to do it again.
just keeping the hammer down, taking it all the way out, and getting as much of a run off the corner as you can. But the best thing he can do right now to try and keep Quentin Storp behind him is looking out that windshield of the 33. We got to see a nice little side-by-side battle there with Nail and Weaver. Nail goes on by, and he'll take away the 4th position, as seen from the onboard there with Ruckriger.
Fighting back on the outside again as we were little two-car battles all over this racetrack, but Joyner's loving what he sees in his mirrors. He pulls out to half a second over the rest of the field. 26 laps to go, and our usual contender in the 6 of Monix, he's back in 12th after whatever happened on pit road. I don't have an official word, but I'd say it was a penalty of some type, because you don't usually just come back down unless you forgot fuel.
Yeah, something I was just about to make note of the fact that while he has been one of the faster cars today, starting back into the tail end of the lead lap there, he has not been able to make up a ton of ground. Only back up in the 12th, and he's almost 2 seconds behind 11th. You can see the gap here going down the front stretch. The car he's trying to chase down just entering turn 1. Molnick's not getting there till just now, so he's got a lot of work to do. He might need a caution if he's trying to go for the three-peat here in the QSR Simulations season, trying to pick up his 3rd victory in a row. But right now he'll need a lot of things to fall his way if that's to continue. Although things are looking really good for a couple of cars up front. All 3 of these guys in the top 3 right now looking for their first victory of the season. Any one of them could get that first victory here, and it would be at a timely situation for all of those guys, especially someone like Carter Lins, who's currently 3rd in the points, trying to fight for that championship here. That could be a huge boost for him. So definitely something to keep an eye on here in our closing 25 laps or so.
Two-car Deutscher now challenging on the outside for the 2nd position. I'm interested to see if the 2-car has the gumption. He's got about a 1/10 of a second to make up per lap if he wants to catch the 20 of Joyner. That last time by, pretty much perfectly even on lap times. 31.435, 31.439, so very, very close laps.
Yeah, the big thing now for Deutscher is he's now clear of Carter Lins in the 3, which means he can go back to running any lane that he chooses here, as opposed to trying to find a way around the 3. That could help in his quest to track down the 20 of Joyner. That being said, he's got a lot of work to do here. 1.1 seconds the gap right now in the Chicagoland 86.
Off the back bumper, the 20. Just about 20 laps to go. Can he do it? Can he seal the deal? Will it be a first-time win for one of these drivers, or will we have a caution that can reset this field? Give a chance to the 19. Give a chance to the 6. Based off the speed that we've seen here, the top 5, it's been a lot of first-timers that have a really good possibility.
Something has happened to the 3 of Carter Lins. I wonder if he clipped the wall or something. He is now all the way back in the 5th position here. Both Nail and Weaver have gone on by. And the 3, who was running 2nd just about 3 or 4 laps ago, now in jeopardy of falling outside of the top 5 is Jeremy Burns, only half a second back from him.
We hope you're enjoying tonight's action here live on V-Speed. If you are, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a single race when we bring you QSR Simulations Chase for the Cup. We're going to take a quick commercial break, bring you the remaining 15 or so laps live here on V-Speed. Back right after this. There isn't a one-size-fits-all for almost anything in life, so don't settle for a one-size-fits-all setup. Eliminate the frustration in building with an AI-powered personalized toolkit to boost you forward to victory. Optimize your setup and improve your performance over those cookie-cutter builds used by the rest of the pack. Vantage is iRacing.com's first AI setup builder. Save your time and get back to your personal life. Vantage takes any setup for any track and adjusts it specifically to your needs. Choose from over 100 cars for any paved circuit. A custom-tailored experience that's easy to understand and tested to fit any driver style. subscriptions as low as $8.50 per month. And for a limited time, new members get a 7-day free trial with unlimited access to all Vantage has to offer. Let Orange Speed Vantage free you of the endless loop of testing and get you back on track to victory lane. Visit orangespeedvantage.ai to get started. Back here live from Chicagoland, the 5 of Jeremy Burns trying to work his way into the top 5. He's on the outside of Carter Lenz. We've had a pretty weird night tonight. A lot of the names that you have seen have success deep in this field, and some of the first-time possibility for win. Bring the ticker up on your screen. Zach Deutscher trying to catch up to Joyner right now.
Yeah, that being said, though, ever since he's cleared second, he has not really made much progress on the 20 of Joyner. That gap has stayed pretty consistent at about 1 to 1.1 seconds over the past few laps here. So barring anything drastic happening, it might be Joyner's race to lose, barring a caution.
Two-car would have to pick off about a tenth a lap. Last time by a couple hundredths of a second. Nothing really to write home about, really. Well, actually a full tenth. Yeah, we had a 31.691, so not terrible, but this time by, he gave it all back. 31.5.
Yeah, he got really loose coming off the exit of turn 4. Not only did he give away a lot of that time he had made up on Joyner, but he's letting Chris Nail pull right up to the back bumper here. And if he can start getting side by side, the two of them will probably fall even further back from Joyner, as side-by-side battling usually slows both cars down, and it'll let the leader start driving off into the, well, I'd say the sunset, but it's very much night as the 20 really sideways off of turn 4, trying to get around the lap traffic at the 60. And boy, did he nearly have that thing spinning off the corner exit.
Really loose condition. Maybe had something to do with that dirty air coming off of 4. But he's able to mitigate the damage. He remains about a second ahead of Deutscher. 13 laps to go when they cross the line, and we've had several different leaders here tonight. We've had Carter Lenz lead some laps. We've had Ronnie Joyner. We've had Joe Weaver up front. Challenges for the lead by Daniel Molnix. It's been all over the place.
Yeah, we had a lot of different names up front. Molnix has led a few laps tonight, but that caution, or the penalty on pit road during the caution, sunk him back into the field. Currently scored in the 10th position, maybe going to pick off 9th here in a moment from Dirk Likes, but certainly not the night I'm sure he was hoping to have, looking for the three-peat here after winning the past 2 races here in the QSR Simulations League.
So battle tightens up a little bit here from 10th to 8th position. Carter Lenz, after whatever happened, that brush with the wall or just ill handling, showed that short run speed, led some laps, and now at the tail end of this run, he's finding himself fighting just to stay in the top 10. Doesn't look like he's got much longer. He's back to 10th now. Patrick Hernandez, the next car in line.
Yeah, and that's a pretty big gap, but the way the 3 is falling down the timing table here, it's not an impossibility to think Hernandez could get to the back bumper of him before this is all said and done. But looking at the timing table here, one of the names that I'm seeing up in that top 5 that I have not seen in the top 5 all night, Darrell Flanagan in the 18, having a pretty good run. Started 11th, had a really quiet day most of the day, but now in position to get some really good points here, currently sitting in the 5th position ahead of Christian Ruckerville.
And we were just talking about him, finding his way into the top 10. Look at this, up to 6th now.
Daniel Molnix putting on a charge here late at the Chicagoland 86. Probably a little too late here for the 6 machine of Daniel Molnix, but all the points he could have and more right now for the taking as he jumped up from 10th to 6th in about 2 laps. Now trying to chase down the 18 of Flanagan.
Down pit road, so that's what's happening. We got Chris Nail down here who was in the top 3. So there, we're on point here tonight, let me tell you.
Really catching everything in front of us here as the 48 brings it down pit road.
Well,
wonder if anyone else is going to join him.
I was riding on board with the 91 of Hernandez, and he was clutching this thing. So some guys are trying to go all the way. I was listening again to these RPMs because some of these guys are trying to go to the very end of this race. Here's the RPM drop. Oh, he's getting loose.
Yeah, he got a little bit of the apron there through 3 and 4 and had to re-pick it up just to try and hold on to that thing. But yeah, he's definitely trying to save something as now Molnick's goes around the 18 as well. So now Molnick's into the top 5 trying to chase down Jeremy Burns. But yeah, 18 clipping the wall. The 51 also either clipped the wall or running out of fuel or something. He was shaking down the straightaway there. Looks like he brushed that outside wall a little bit. And Lykes now falling back into the 8th position.
So are we convinced that all these guys aren't going to make it? Because we saw the 48 car come down pretty early. He ends up 2 laps down. He takes... took a long time there in the box as well, 54 seconds, so probably a speeding penalty for Chris Nail. I'd say that pretty much does it for him. If we don't have a caution, he's out of the race.
Now at the line, 6 laps to go here from Chicagoland. Ronnie Joyner, a comfortable 2-second lead, although the question's starting to become for the cars in this field right now. Can they make it to the end on fuel? Didn't think it was going to be this close, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe it is really going to come down to the last couple drops of gasoline in there.
He's not the only one saving. Right on board here with the 2 car and see if he's got it in save mode. 19 of Burns goes by on the inside. He's pretty much...
They are flying up to the back bumper of Joyner here. They've cut off a second in this past lap.
19's not saving anything.
Jeremy Burns hasn't had the race-winning speed all night, but with 5 laps to go, he's currently second and closing fast on the back bumper of Ronnie Joyner. Chopped 1.1 seconds off last lap. Does he have something in the tank that the 20 doesn't? Or is he just going for it and hoping there's a caution?
Joyner stopped saving fuel, so he turned it back on. Let's see if he can hold up as he pulls off at turn 2. You see that lead grow back a little bit. Is he in the good, though? Did he turn it back on too soon? 20 car could be a lap short. We'll have to wait and see. He's going to be flirting with that line. 19 of Jeremy Burns in a better situation. There's the 45 of Harrison, which we haven't talked much about tonight. He's 16 laps down, 20 laps down. I'm not sure what happened to the 45. He had a connection issue here tonight, but unfortunate there for him. 3 to go here. Quentin Stewart.
Right.
I think hit pit road. Yeah, he did. He's going to try to get his lap back the old-fashioned way.
He certainly might be able to, coming off of turn 4 here. Only 3 miles left for Ronnie Joyner. 2 laps to go here from Chicagoland. Does he have the fuel that he needs to make it to the end? Burns scored second. Daniel Molnick's now up to third, only 2 seconds back of our leaders. Does the 20 have enough in the tank to get it all the way around 1.5 more times?
It's looking that way. He's back on the loud pedal. He hasn't been lifting and clutching like he was earlier in this run. Saved just enough. White flag up in the air for chase race number 2. Ronnie Joyner just has to get around Chicagoland one more time. Jeremy Burns, he's shaved the lead down to under a second, but it's too little too late for the 19. Strong points day for him, but a first-time win in the books here as he comes off of turn 4 for the final time tonight. Ronnie Joyner gets on top. Ronnie Joyner gets the win at Chicagoland.
53 laps led tonight for Ronnie Joyner, including the last stint where it mattered the most. Looks like some cars maybe really were laboring to make it to the finish there, but Joyner saved enough to make it to the end. An incredible victory for him after a couple of top 5s the past couple weeks. Finally able to get over that last hurdle and picks up his first victory of the QSR simulation season.
Right on board here with Dirt Bikes, and he did run out of fuel here across the line. Deutscher runs out as well. So he
Yeah,
gets
you
by
can see the
Deutscher.
2 falls way back.
33 runs out, the 18. Man,
Wow. That's a huge break there for Flanagan. That's 3 positions he picked up in the half a straightaway.
I take that back. He was a lap down. He had to come down pit road, so he gets 13.
Oh. So he was on the fresh tires, but still must have been fun to fly past everyone at full speed.
And maybe we found out why Daniel Molnix came back down pit road.
Yeah, maybe it has something to do with that. I mean, he did finish in the top 3, I believe, so I do think we're going to have an opportunity to chat with him. Maybe figure out what was going through his head there, if that was intentional or not. Either way, podium finish for him, victory for Ronnie Joyner, and another strong points day for Jeremy Burns that would, I'd imagine, keep him on top of the points table going into next week's race.
We're getting a little help here to the front stretch. He's got a teammate getting him back around the racetrack for this podium finish, putting it on top. Congratulations to Ronnie Joyner. And I doubt we see a burnout here for the 20. He's just going to park it here at the line.
As did the 19. Maybe the 6 will join him. All the podium finishers just going to park it on the front stretch there, right? The start-finish line. That'll be a fun picture.
Post-race interviews with your top 3. We're going to take another quick commercial break while we round those guys up. And we talk to your victory lane. Ronnie Joyner is going to be down there in just a moment. But we'll be back here live on V-Speed right after this. It's QSR Simulations Chase for the Cup from Chicagoland. There isn't a one-size-fits-all for almost anything in life. So don't settle for a one-size-fits-all setup. Eliminate the frustration in building with an AI-powered personalized toolkit to boost you forward to victory. Optimize your setup and improve your performance over those cookie-cutter builds used by the rest of the pack. Vantage is iRacing.com's first AI setup builder. Save your time and give back to your personal life. Vantage takes any setup for any track and adjusts it specifically to your needs. Choose from over 100 cars for any paved circuit. A custom-tailored experience that's easy to understand and tested to fit any driver's style. Subscriptions as low as $8.50 per month. And for a limited time, new members get a 7-day free trial with unlimited access to all Vantage has to offer. Let Orange Speed Vantage free you of the endless loop of testing and get you back on track to victory lane. Visit orangespeedvantage.ai to get started.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Back live, Julia Casino, right there on your screen. From Chicagoland, it's been a good one so far. I enjoyed every minute of it, but we've got your final results coming up on the screen now. And ultimately, Ronnie Joyner, first time win. That's a highlight of the night. Jeremy Burns gets second position with Daniel Molnix, and we've said these names the past 3 weeks now. More and more of the same, and Jeremy Burns hanging on to that points lead after tonight. Dirk Like skips fourth after running out of fuel. Christian Rodrigo also running out of fuel. The two of Deutscher ran out about 100 feet short of those two, and he's going to finish sixth. Patrick Hernandez brings it home in seventh. Carter Lenz, who led some laps tonight, comes home in eighth. Frank Walsh in ninth, and rounding out that top 10, it's the league owner, Quentin Stewart.
And the back half of the field here, our pole sitter, rolled off first, finishes 11th though tonight, one lap down, as does Reveille there in the 00. Daryl Flanagan in the 18 brings it home 13th, with Dowdy bringing it home in 14th as the last car, one lap down. Chris Nail was in the top 3 late, but needed to come down pit road before it was done. He'll finish 15th tonight. Carnahan will finish home 16th, 17th to Tyler Harrison, 18th to the 60 of Mike Petrin. The 5 of Wisnowski brings it home 19th, and in 20th it was Andrew Allen who had that incident earlier in the race with teammate and 21st place finisher in Thornton there in the 29.
So 86 laps here tonight have been completed, and the multi-groove racing here at Chicagoland, it put on a great show. We had several different lead changes and only 2 cautions, but we're caught up down on pit road with your third place finisher. Alex Gagnon's got Daniel Monix from third.
Hey Daniel, this is Alex Gannon up in the booth.
What's up, man?
This was quite the race for you. To the front, to the back toward the front again. Talk us through your night here and what you were seeing, especially when it came to that the pit stops there around lap 45. It looked like you had to bring that car back down a second time.
I didn't have to. I wanted to. I wanted to make sure I was good on fuel. And actually, at the end of the race, I was still 1 lap to the good, so I could have stayed out and ran up front. But knowing me, I probably would have pushed it too hard and still ran out. So at least I was able to get back up there.
Having that extra lap of fuel seemed to have paid off. A lot of those positions, it looked like you got in the final couple laps when people were saving. Was that extra lap of fuel the difference there, knowing that you could push it while everyone else was trying to conserve?
Yeah. I was looking. I was flipping back, looking at my laps to empty, and I was staying right there, half a lap to a lap, and I just wanted to manage that. And I knew a few of those guys were going to run out. And then a few other ones were probably going to, use their tires up. So I was just going to pick them off whenever they went down pit road or whenever I just caught them, running pace.
Well, after 2 straight victories, another podium finish here tonight, although it is not on the top step. With 2 races left this season, how are you feeling going into the end of the season here after a 3rd straight podium finish?
I feel good. These are hands down my favorite cars to race on here. A lot of fun to drive, a lot of fun to you have to move around with these cars. You can't just run one single line and for a whole run and expect it to work. You got to actually manhandle these cars sometimes. They'll step out on you pretty easy too, and I like this kind of racing.
Well, it was a lot of fun to watch from up here in the booth. There's no doubt about that. Anyone you would like to thank or shout out here before we let you go on your way this evening?
Thank you guys for putting this on, and Ronnie Joyner, he actually showed up for an interview, so you wouldn't have to ask me about it 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I noticed that. I said it took a race win to get him in here, so you helped him get Discord and you helped him back around the track for that podium.
Yeah. I even did a little bit of a burnout for him since he was out of gas.
Yeah.
Someone's got to celebrate it, right?
Yep. That's what I told him. I said, I'll do burnouts for you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us in the booth here, Daniel. Congrats on the podium, and we hope to see you again real soon.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you next week.
So that was Daniel Molnix, our 3rd place finisher this evening. Not necessarily the result that he was hoping for tonight with the victory, but certainly a strong run nonetheless.
Yeah, it's like he said, he could have probably stayed out and got into a better situation. You don't know. Hindsight's always 20/20 when it comes to this stuff. And coming back down, everybody else runs out of fuel. So like you said, he might have run out and been in the same scenario where, Dirk and Christian were just short at the line there, so you never know. Coming up with our second place finisher, though, we've got Jeremy Burns in the number 19. We caught up with him. Jeremy, I tell you what, man, it was a struggle here tonight. I heard you clutching it. I heard the 20 clutching it, and then you were on the loud pedal. It looked like you were shaving a lot of time off there, but ultimately, at the end of it, just too little, too late. I mean, what was going on though? It seemed like the speed wasn't quite there in the 19 tonight.
So, I mean, it just really wasn't there compared to the other top guys. You know, Ronnie and Daniel were definitely two of the fastest guys, and even Carter up there. But a lot of it was just saving there towards the end. And I knew that I had to roll it around the bottom because that was the most fuel efficient way to get around the track. But honestly, there towards the end, I was 0.3 laps to the good from my fuel tracker. So I said, you know what, I'm going to try to push it here on the top lane and see what these tires got left. And unfortunately had a couple of lap cars coming around, you know, kind of shuffling it up. So I really had no shot at it towards the end. But overall, really proud of everyone on the 19 team. I mean, just trying to calculate the fuel there to where we were either a lap to the good or a lap short. And, you know, managing that throughout a 40 lap run definitely isn't the easiest thing to do. So definitely really happy to be up there in second and get a good points day when a lot of the other guys that I'm battling actually ended up pitting and finished, you know, maybe not where they should have tonight. So it's definitely a great points day, and I think that we should be at the top of the points here going into Kansas.
So setting up with the points, I mean, the guys that are winning or being up here ahead of you last week and the week before, now you're able to edge one out. But really, it's kind of null and void because as long as you keep getting these finishes, you're pretty much set. These guys are so deep in the points starting late. You're good to go here. And the second place is almost nail in the coffin with 2 races left.
Yeah, you know, I I never really got to watch a whole lot of NASCAR throughout the early 2000s because I was really young at the time and didn't quite grasp it. But you know, the point system back then and the ones that we use now, I'm really starting to appreciate it because it rewards consistency. And last week necessarily wasn't our week, but besides that, we've been really consistent all season. And I mean, now that, you know, I missed one race and it kind of looked a little weird in the points, but now that everything re-racked and consistency is there and we got rewarded for bonus points, it's showing who's been the most consistent all season. And I actually just took a look at the updated points, and it looks like Christian Ruckriegel, my teammate, has now bounced into third. So definitely proud of him and everyone at the team tonight. They put in a lot of effort this week, so definitely proud of all of them over there.
Well, Jeremy, while we have you up here, I know that first off, you got to start off with Debbie Smith. She's been shouting you out every week. But is there anybody else that you'd like to thank for the podium here tonight?
Well, obviously, Momo Debbie and Miss Betsy, they're out there supporting my mom and dad. My girlfriend, she's out bowling tonight, so she'll have to watch it when she gets back. Dylan, yeah, yeah,
People still do that?
Yeah, she took my trophy from the Glen, the bowling ball that we got. So maybe that took some good luck for her.
Hey, there you go.
Good old Coach P and Sonny, Julie, Derek, Caroline. Happy birthday out there to Caroline. It's her birthday today, so happy birthday to her. Shannon, Belinda, Jessica, Alex, Carter, and Colton. Any other supporters around the league. My team over there. We're trying to get the 19 back to a championship. You know, 2 Jeremys fighting it out, just trying to get it up there. And anyone else that supports the league. I know Christian put up the sponsorship tonight, so shout out to him and shout out to you guys. You guys did an amazing job, and I can't wait to see the broadcast for tonight and then next week as well.
Well, we appreciate that, Jeremy, and I think every week I interview you, the family gets a little bit bigger. I don't know how that works exactly, but that list getting longer and longer. Shout them all out. We appreciate you. Jeremy Burns, second place. We'll see you next time, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
So there's second place here tonight. Great showing there for the number 19, able to kind of outwit him on the fuel, but puts it in a good situation for the end of this race. And finally, it's our newcomer to the Discord. Ronnie Joyner has figured it out. He's in the channel after 2 hiatus interviews. It took a win, and we've got the 20 car in victory lane. Ronnie, awesome finish. You had to clutch it. You had to You had to do what you had to do. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, buddy. It was fun and never had to save fuel before, and that was the first for me.
So we got you in the Discord finally. How long until we get you on camera? Because, we've got all these cool features here at V-Speed to show you off. How long before we can get that webcam set up and we get the full immersion of what the 20 car went through tonight?
I don't think we're going to do that, but maybe in the future you might be able to talk me into it.
We're chipping away at it. We got you in here now. And so hearing your voice for the first time, Ronnie, I know that tonight was kind of a gamble with the 6 car, your teammate, I would say a teammate at this point, coming back down pit road, not sure if he can make it. What made you so confident coming into this last stint that you were going to make it on fuel?
It wasn't no confidence. It was just keeping the intervals with second place behind me and then clutching and going into the corners and letting it roll a little bit more and then seeing what they were doing behind me. I was watching that ticker really, really hard there, and I seen the 19 coming hard, and then I started pushing for a couple laps, and then I had to clutch it again, and I knew I had enough at least to get to turn 4, so it worked out for us.
Just enough fuel coming across the line. Wasn't able to do a burnout for that first victory here at QSR, but he was able to get the win, and most importantly, you led that last lap. 54 laps led. You had a battle with the 21 Weaver. You had Carter Lenz. You had several people here at the start of this race, and ultimately, long run speed, you were able to prevail. What did it take to get around here tonight with the multi-groove racing?
First off, that was really good racing between the 3 and the 19 and all the guys up there. That was some hard white knuckle racing going on, and everybody held their lines. And it really took tire management at the beginning of that race and just rolling the bottom real smooth and watching how you're getting on the gas coming off the corners and not to slide the tires off the corners was the key. So a lot of hard racing and a lot of clean racing in this league. I enjoy running in here, and it's a lot of clean people in here, and it's a fun league.
Well, we appreciate the time, Ronnie. Thank you for coming into the Discord. Great to hear your voice for the first time. Do you have anybody on a list that you could thank or shout out for tonight's win?
Oh yeah, so we're thinking about my buddy Tiggs, who just lost his Aunt Kathy. Buddy, this one's for you. We put it up there for you. We're all saying prayers for you and thinking about you. Like to thank Peepin' Paints, who paints the car that's on the track with that metallic flake in it. And thank the guys at Venom Motorsports for having me get in here with us and test and stuff like that. And thank you guys for putting this league on. It's very a pleasure to run in.
We appreciate it. Hope you can go back and see the highlights. It was a great race here at Chicago. And Ronnie, we look forward to maybe having you back up here in the booth next week.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
So there's your race winner, the number 20, Ronnie Joyner, putting it on here at Chicagoland with just enough fuel to come across the line. So there it is here tonight for the Chicagoland 86. And I'll put that back up on the screen. I'm not really sure what to think of this graphic here. You can let me know what your opinion is in the chat. But there's a fine line between pizza and lasagna, and I just want to establish that right now. Lasagna's top tier.
Well, honestly, if you ask me, I think they're both pretty top tier, although I would agree they are quite different. But, the deep dish, a lot of cheese, a lot of crust, I could see how you could get to that thought, but yeah, no. Me personally, I highly disagree. Pizza and lasagna is a little too different to me. What do I know, being from the East Coast and not Chicago?
Well, we had some audio there. I know we had some problems there a moment ago. Crank it back up for me there. Alex, I want to thank you for being in here tonight, though, and being a part of this broadcast at QSR Simulations Chase for the Cup. It's been a great one, and we've got 2 races left to go. Let's put the schedule up on your screen. We're going to Kansas next week, February 1st, and then it's the Old Atlanta for the final race of the season. With Jeremy Burns leading the points going into these final 2 weeks, will he hold on, or is another newcomer going to take over that points lead after the final week? Let's find out next week at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, everybody, I hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Hit the subscribe button, and you'll never miss a single race. We'll see you next time. And for everybody at V-Speed, Adam Baker, Alex Gagnon, this is Bradley Cooper telling you, have a great weekend.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
Burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.